All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to Radio Yo-Yo. We got a special episode today with Jamie Larkins from Throw Spiral. We're going to be talking about the SLAPPA. Got my SLAPPA. New yo-yo comes out Friday, 6 p.m. EST at jakebullockart.com. Let's see here. We're having some technical difficulties getting Jamie in here. There he is. So sweet. We got you in here.
Oh yeah.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm stoked. I'm so happy with the yo-yo. Weight off my back because I didn't know
Yeah,
if I'd be into it. I mean,
I
I felt
know.
pretty
Me
good,
neither.
but you just never know. You just never know. I can
Yeah, Jane.
screen share CAD if that would
Oh,
be
nice.
helpful.
Yeah, do that for fun. Yeah, Jamie just got his in the mail today, so that's why we're doing this. Um, I'm a little under the weather, but I had pho for dinner, so I'm feeling
Oh,
better
dude.
already.
Oh, Fuzz the best. Fuzz like
Yeah,
favorite.
I got super spicy, cleared my sinuses right up, and I should be good to go for a little bit here. Something going around. I think I got sick at New York State's. I know
it's
Jerry's under the weather too, so
oh
something.
no. Because
Yeah.
his freestyle was so sick.
Yeah, exactly.
See, it says
Exactly.
host disabled participant screen sharing. Let's go.
We're
Okay.
back. We're
We are
back,
so
folks,
back.
after some
Okay.
technical difficulties.
Yo. Okay. This is what I would like to share.
Awesome.
You, everything looks good? Okay.
Yeah, it looks great. So here we have the CAD file for the SLAPPA.
There's one half, and let's see if. And that looks good. Full yo yo.
Looks great. So yeah, this has not been that long in the making. We started maybe 6, 7 weeks ago,
It was so fast.
and it
Fastest
was
yo yo
like
project ever.
sort of a joke in Discord that you DM'd me.
It was like a
I
pun
don't
before it was a yo yo.
Yeah. Yeah, we just I think it was your idea to combine a slim dunk or do something with a slim dunk, or maybe I said I want to do a slim line. I don't even remember. I should look back, but I know that my goal was to make a Gopa type yo-yo, which the yo-yo recreation Gopa, I got one in a trade, and it's such a unique feeling yo-yo because it's around 58 grams. I gotta weigh mine and see how it compares. Actually, it might be a little heavier, but I just figured this would be as good as an opportunity as any. It was like my flavor of the week yo-yo at the time. I was just playing with the Gopa every day, and now that I make my own yo-yos, I like to use my own yo-yos. So I didn't have anything that played comparably to a Gopa, so we decided we'd make one. And then I think it was sort of after we decided on a slimline, lightweight yo-yo that you just immediately threw this design together very quickly, with the Kappa style rims, and it sort of has a little bit of a slim dunk profile.
Yeah, I really tried to throw in as much like slim dunk into the profile as I could
Right.
since it's more proportion, it has the slimline proportions and like the Kappa profile wouldn't really work in the pro. It'd just be like fundamentally different trying to do that shape with different dimensions.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it ended up looking like a pretty decent amount like both yo-yos,
I
which I was
think it
pretty pleased with.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, if you want to on screen share for a second, just
Yeah.
so I get bigger again, I'm going to show the slapper next to a couple yo-yos here.
Oh, can I like see if I pause it? Does that make you big?
Um, no, it seems like it. I think you just have to hit stop screen sharing.
Okay, cool.
Okay, we should be back now. Um, So yeah, here's a slap on the left or the right, depending, and then you can see the rims, and then also how it goes from rim to high wall
Right, right. The body transition. That was
is
a
very
big thing.
similar.
That's kind of how I like view the slim dunk profile is just like rim, very simple transition, then the inner
Right.
profile.
And you can see this the Gopa or the Slappa, not the Gopa, is slimmer than a slim dunk. So it is like a true slimline yo-yo. That took some getting used to the first night with it. I was like, this is kind of hard to yo-yo with because I've been using like big Japanese, like wide yo-yos, and
Right.
it is absolutely a true slimline. And it truly is a good pocket yo-yo too because it fits so well.
If it's so and like the pants falling down bit, which is just
Yeah.
so amazing. I died laughing at that. Just
Yeah.
brilliant. Um, it's like true. Like I actually do have yo-yos that make my shorts fall
Oh
down,
yeah.
and it's not good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It comes from reality. So let's see. What are some other yo-yos? Well, here it is next to a Gopa. And it really does have pretty Gopa specs. The diameter is like damn close to the same, if not the same.
Let me get the let me see the numbers on the Gopa. The Gopa is 58 by 36. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So the slim
basically,
slim cap is just half a mil shorter than the
yeah,
same width. And it's interesting because I have not touched a Gopa myself.
right.
So I was kind of just like figuring out the story of the yo-yo just from pictures and numbers. Um, and then just sort of building it off of my own direct inspirations for just like large light yo-yos that I like and that I thought played really well. So I was throwing stuff like my Duncan Big Fun and
Yes.
Corco Mothra.
Yes. I've gotten a lot of Mothra references. People who are lucky enough to have a Mothra
Yeah, the shape is
are,
actually pretty similar. Ultimately, kind
yeah.
of the same archetype where it's like a broad rim, simple corner, then the
Mm-hmm.
straight-ish inner profile. I need to actually look at the CAD and see if this is a straight line or a. I think it's like a very slightly convex arc, if I remember right.
Other good comparisons profile wise that I got at New York State's for older school players, the good and evil is,
Yeah, yeah. The good and evil comparison made me happy. I thought that was
yeah,
cool because
because it is
I
a
definitely
large,
didn't think about it, but
no, me neither, but it's true. And then also the CLYW Gorge, which is basically a good and evil knockoff,
right, right.
um, is a more modern comparison. Larger, just slightly larger diameter slimline. Here's another comparison to the Sliver, which is another great yo-yo. Um, very different, much larger diameter, and a
A
little
little
bit
wider,
wider. Yeah,
2 millimeters wider.
yeah. But you can see the signature rim, and then on the Kappa as well. Oh, I dropped my Kappa. This one, I love the rim, and I love that we ended up doing the dunk laser engraving.
Oh,
It
I'm so happy with it.
it fits in really well. It
It
fits
just it
right.
just fell into place. I think that's
Yeah,
part of why the yo-yo came together so fast is that like all the pieces just kind of naturally came together.
yeah. It was,
Like the kappa design aspects are generally easy to implement in almost anything, and then the slim dunk was a yo-yo I had a lot of time on, a lot of respect for, so I
yeah.
kind of knew how to emulate it already, and they just kind of yeah. And then the rim
It
is just another one of those things where it's just stars align.
it came together easy, and it was just easy because we get along, and also I always considered the Kappa and the Dunk, the original Dunk, to be like cousins kind of because they came out around the same time.
Right, right.
Um
People are calling it quarantine yo-yos, which I have mixed
right,
feelings about, but like I know it's a compliment, so it's fine.
right. Um no, I take that as a huge compliment, and they're some of the best yo-yos that have ever been made as far as I'm concerned. So I mean, if that's what, but I started my process, and I'm sure you started yours before quarantine was ever a thing. Um,
Yeah, kind of mid late 2019.
I had already ordered prototypes, tested them, and then ordered my full run before COVID ever was like a thing people knew about. So it was just, it wasn't like quarantine hit and I became bored and decided to make yo-yos. Quite the
Right.
contrary. But I always considered them cousins because I have a great memory of during quarantine doing a trade with you for a Kappa with my dunk, and it was one of the first times I got to like give my yo-yo for someone else's,
Yeah, it
and it
was my
was,
first time doing
yeah, it
that.
was my first time getting obviously anything from you, and it truly was one of my favorite, is one of my favorite yo-yos to this day. Immediately, I love the Kappa so much, so it felt really good to have two brand new yo-yos, one of them mine, and then yours also. I just played with them so frequently, so it was easy and it made sense to me to collaborate with you. And I trusted your design sensibilities and skills, which is the other thing we got to talk about. We just, or I rather, sort of made the call to just not prototype the SLAPPA, which is
The
insane.
the full send, yeah.
Yeah. I was, shout out Coffin Knock Coffin. I was just chatting with him one day and I was like, jokingly, was like, yeah, I got this new design with Jamie. It's so sick. I showed him the CAD, and then I was like, I'm just tempted to just order it because like I know it's gonna be good. And the idea of like, can you imagine if it would just, it would have sucked if we were just getting the prototypes this week. Like we would
Right.
have
One
another,
color, we all get just one.
yeah, and we'd
You
be
know,
like,
we're
it's perfect, let's go. I would have ordered them already. You know what I
throwing
mean?
it
So
all
like,
careful and yeah.
yeah, I trusted it. And Coffin was like, well, Coffin's made several yo-yos himself. And he's like, I've never prototyped any of my yo-yos. He just orders the run of 100 or however many he makes. And he's like, that's what I do. And it's worked. And also, um, Japanese yo-yo companies will often, I think they do the same thing. Maybe they prototype, but I wouldn't be surprised. They release like a run of like inevitables, for example,
And they'll
and
just
then
revise
they'll
it.
tweak it.
Yeah.
They'll just revise it. So I
Right.
was like, worst case scenario, we can revise this if we do a second run, if we feel like it. But
Yeah, the Kappa
I
has some
just,
pretty subtle revisions between the silvers and then the next ones.
yes, I've heard that. Yeah, I heard, I have a first run, and then I played with AJ Garcia's second run, and it was a little different. But yeah, that's, it just like clicked with me, and I was like, you know what? I want this yo-yo as soon as possible while it's still fresh in my mind and while I'm still excited about the Gopa and still excited about like lightweight yo-yos. Like,
Right.
let's
Yo-yo
just get it.
headspace changes over time, I feel.
Exactly. So I'm very grateful that we made that call and that it worked out, because I'm not going to act like I was confident the whole way through. I
Oh,
was
I was
definitely,
horrified. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I was very scared a couple times. I was very annoying. Like, okay, did you double check this and double check that? And is this
Right.
going to work for sure? And like, because I was just, a nightmare situation could happen where
Right.
the yo-yo wobbles for some reason, or like it's a slim line, so that seemed unlikely. It was FPM we used, and I trust them. Um, so in hindsight, it was, and even during the process, I knew it would be fine deep down, but it's still a scary thing to send money, that much money out, and just hope for the best. And it's very funny. The woman at the factory was like, no, you should prototype it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. And she's like, we will give you two free prototypes just for free, and we'll pay for the shipping and everything. Like, please prototype it. And I was
Please
like,
do
no.
not be mad at
I
yeah.
I eventually lied and was like, I've made this yo-yo before with another manufacturer. I know it's gonna be good. That's what I had to say to get.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I was
Oh,
just
that
like,
owns. That rules.
trust me, I made
It's
this
so
art.
good.
Because I mean, in my head, I was like, I have a Gopa. It's gonna be very similar. Like, I know I'm gonna like this yo-yo. Anyway, it all worked out.
I think
So
this is the kind of design where you can get away with it. Like
absolutely.
I wouldn't YOLO any yo-yo, but this one's like,
No.
yeah, it's like easy to tell that it's probably gonna do what you expect and want it to.
Right. And this is not a performance driven design in any way. This is like a very fun, unique yo-yo design. I mean, not to say that it doesn't have elements. It has your design elements that make it an extremely high performing yo-yo. But I mean, like, it's not a competition oriented.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I meant. Like it
That kind of
has.
ties into like a core design thing with just spiral and almost sort of anything I make, but mostly spiral stuff. Is that I always want that kind of uncanny feeling, like
Mm-hmm.
why does it spin so. AJ said that about Nimbus Proto. He's playing with it and he said, why does it spin so long? And I was like, yes, that's it, that's the spiral
Yeah.
thing. Because when before I ever started to learn CAD or anything, I knew that when I started making yo-yos, what I wanted to do was not you know go from scratch to make the very best playing yo-yo, but to take like decide on some aspect of the yo-yo and design around it, optimize around it. So something that may not be like the best thing, but treat that as the limitation and then try to fill in
Interesting.
everything else as much as possible to make it as good as it can be. So that's like why the cap is the way it is. So it's like the soup, the round shape, but then it's like, okay, what can we do with this to elevate it, make it play as good as it can? Almost like play in spite of itself.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You have a knack for taking any kind of more unique design and then making it as I trust you to make it as good as that design can possibly be. So you took my parameters of I want large, slimline, lightweight, and you came up with the best possible large, in my opinion, lightweight, slimline performance wise. Like there's definitely a world where someone can make a slimline 58-gram yo-yo that plays like garbage. Like
Oh, it's
just
very easy.
because
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So the fact that this plays so well, a lot of people at New York were saying, not why has it been so long, but how is it so stable? Because it doesn't feel like it should. It feels like nothing on the string. So it reminds you of like really cheapo, shitty old yo-yos that like they're lightweight and therefore they get knocked over really easily. They
Right.
aren't
It just
stable
doesn't
at all.
preserve any momentum.
But this has a weird sensation to me. I don't know if you notice, but it doesn't have power like a big, heavy, like an inevitable or like a crazy bimetal has, where you throw it and you feel the spin and it spins fast, fast, fast for a long time. This I've noticed it spins fast initially and then it very quickly the RPM slow down to like a steady slower spin, but then it will spin for a really long time at that slower speed.
Yeah, it kind of
Um,
hits its sweet spot.
yeah, it hits a spot and but it does spin. I was doing really long combos with it today. Like it has no lack of spin time at all. It just doesn't spin as like super powerful, obviously, as like a bimetal or something. But it's just an interesting sensation to have like a lower speed, but lightweight, but also still stable as hell. Yo-yo stability is so important to me. So, um, yeah, super cool. We did 3 colors, and they all came out sick.
I'm
Yeah,
so glad I finally get to see the colors in person too.
yeah.
Oh man, like no camera can really convey it truly.
No, they came out
But oh
awesome.
man,
I had
so
the
good.
reds at New York this weekend, so there's not many reds left, but there's a good amount of green and taro that'll be going up Friday. And there is I people think I sound crazy, but like there is a slight difference in the two lighter colors, the taro and the red, versus the dark green. The dark green, like we were just talking, Jamie and I, that there's no real difference in weight. So like this could be it's not in my head though. It's not.
It's
Like the
it's not
green,
it's not placebo. There's definitely
yeah.
there's like an immediately noticeable difference in just the texture of the yo-yos in the hand.
Yep.
Like that's
Um
undeniable.
I don't know if it's like exactly how anodization works, if there's like pigment involved or something, but it
Definitely.
just
Yeah, it's
yeah,
definitely the
it's like
pigment.
the pigment in the dark green, it's almost black. So it plays like a black yo-yo. I'm noticing as I get older, like the difference between colored yo-yos. I
Hmm.
first noticed it on the unparalleled motif, which is the one with caps. I played with my orange one, and then I played with someone's black blue one, the dark one. And I was like, this plays different. And I was like, am I crazy? And I gave it to Tyler Severance, and he was like, no, it's the pigment in the ano. Like darker
Yeah.
yo-yos play different. So it's very noticeable in my opinion on this yo-yo, but there's no difference in performance. There's no difference in weight. It's just a slightly different feel. So it makes it kind of fun. If you want to try both side by side with a friend or something like that. Ooh, I haven't done any half swaps yet either. I gotta do
Yeah,
that.
I was thinking about those looking at these. I think green orange is gonna look like
Yeah,
hard, like
green
really
orange could.
hard.
Oh, let's do it right now. But yeah. So
I'm a
anyway, just
fool for
something.
half swaps.
Yeah, I didn't even. It didn't even cross my mind till just now. I don't know why. That's usually like the first thing I do. But yeah, so we got three colorways, and then there is a special edition coming down the line, but it's not going to be done for a while. So we'll release details on that as it gets done. But yeah, that looks sick. It's like
Oh, that's
Christmas.
that's really good.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna try playing with that for a while. See how it feels. But yeah, I haven't put it down since I got him last Friday. I took him to the contest. Paul Hahn played with one and liked it,
That
which
clip
is
blew
insane.
my mind. I mean,
Yeah,
oh my god, Paul Hahn. Yeah, used to call him your favorite player's favorite player.
yeah, it's
It's
insane.
just that footage is like
Yeah.
literally precious to me. It's so cool. It's
And
so
then
cool.
I traded one to Curdy for one of his new Pharaoh Plus, which is a great fucking yo-yo, by the way.
It
Like
looks so good.
it's incredibly good. But I traded, and then all of a sudden he like went on stage for this yo-yo battle. He didn't compete, but it was like some kind of yo-yo battle, and he did like a full 3 minutes with the fucking slappa on stage, all his like classic Curdy tricks. Like he had no problem hitting anything. And that was the moment where I'm like, okay, I feel I could like breathe, because I was like, this is if Curdy is using it on fucking like having no issues, it's not running out of spin. It's not like it's a perfectly capable yo-yo, like
Yeah, because
in
Curdy's
every
shit is
way.
hard.
Yeah,
Curdy
it's
does
hard as
hard
hell.
tricks.
So he was loving it.
I hope
Jeff
that goes
Pang,
up on YouTube. I hope
I
the
know, I hope so too. I don't know what the deal with that. I don't even know who won. Curdy should have won, honestly, from what I saw. But um, and Jeff Pang tried one, the yo-yo design extraordinaire. I have his new yo-yo here, super sick.
oh yeah, so
If you
nice.
haven't gotten one of these, holy moly! I
Oh,
mean,
I got to. I feel like as a designer, I like don't have a choice. Like I have to pay
yeah,
attention to this yo-yo because it's so smart, so creative.
yeah, pick one up for sure for 30
Literally,
bucks.
probably going to change the industry,
I think
like
so.
without
Um,
exaggeration. Yeah,
it's like when the 888 came out. There's a new standard now for plastic yo-yos, I think, because it's as smooth as the slap. Like it is glass smooth. So it's a very unusual feeling for a plastic yo-yo to be that smooth. Um, it's something else though. So he loved it. Everyone loved it. Here's a slappa next to a freehand, which is always like a go-to comparison for me. And it's
right.
basically the same diameter, which is, as far as I'm concerned, the most classic diameter for a yo-yo is a freehand. And you can honestly like, it's kind of a slimline freehand too. Really, it's
Yeah,
just
because I think the Slim Dunk has basically freehand width. I think it's 38 mil,
yeah, I think it
both of
does.
them.
Yes, identical. So
And yeah, that 57, like between 57 and 58. I've started to
yeah,
actually favor that diameter a lot more over the
yeah,
years because I have small hands. I'm a small guy. So I gravitated towards smaller yo-yos. I was doing tighter tricks. I like chopsticks a lot.
hmm,
Um, but over time, I've come to appreciate the larger yo-yos more and be like less just like turned off by them.
yeah,
And now I've made two large yo-yos, both the Nimbus and this. So I guess my opinion's kind of changed. But also just coming to understand and appreciate more how much diameter can contribute to spin power.
right.
Just because like if your rim
You
is
told
further
me about
away,
that.
your rim
Yeah,
weight.
you called it a cheat code, right? I think we talked about that on the last podcast we did together. but
Yeah.
that was very interesting. Diameter helping spin time. What is it again? Explain it exactly.
So let's see. Let me share my screen again here.
Yeah, sure.
Can look at it on the SLAPPA itself. All right. So yeah, like if this yo-yo was smaller, just draw a line here. This is like super ratchet way to demonstrate this point, but whatever. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Do not be coincident. Oh boy. So like if this yo-yo was shorter, right? And like we
Right.
reshape the rim and everything to be this tall instead of that tall, that's like lost rim weight, right?
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So the idea of like rim weight isn't it's not so much about like getting away from the center, like the gap of the yo-yo and like moving like laterally. It's about moving away from the axis of rotation, so like upward along
That
the
makes
body of the
sense.
yo-yo. Because so like the further away that rim is, like the same amount of mass, if you move it up higher, um, it'll just contribute more to that. And also, as your diameter increases, like this gets rotated. So like if there's like a segment here that's like the same thickness as a segment toward the center, this will make more because it's big old ring as opposed to it being a smaller part of the diameter of the yo-yo.
I love
So
that cross section. I love how it looks like a bone. The
yeah,
rim.
the rim cross section's cool.
It looks like a bone. I love it. Oh, it's so cool seeing. I stared at this CAD for so long because that was the other downside of not having a prototype. Like I didn't get to like have that excitement of like having it in my hand. So I was just staring at the CAD, like trying to imagine what it'll play like.
The anticipation is worse than Christmas.
Yeah, it's
It's
insane. I wanted it so bad. And then it showed up like 3 days late. So it kept saying it was going to be delivered on Wednesday. It didn't show up till Friday. Those 2 days were like so brutal for me. I was just like, I'm going to sleep as much as possible to make the time go fast. I
fast
like
travel.
literally was like depression sleeping to like, yeah, fast travel to Friday. I was like, if these don't show up in time for the contest, I'm going to fucking lose my mind. But it worked out perfectly. Um,
Poor USPS. December.
Yeah. It was a DHL, thankfully. They're usually so
Oh
on
yeah.
top of their shit,
Right.
but they took a minute.
USPS package from China. Where's my
Oh
brain?
yeah. It's never arriving. Um, yeah. So let me see. We got some questions. I don't know. Most of them are joke questions, but let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. AJ asks, is the SLAPPA pocket rocket ready out of the box? I haven't done a pocket rocket yet, but in theory, it should be really good at rocket in the pocket because it's so slim. It should fit in your pocket very easily. So someone
And because
asked,
it's
can
lightweight, I think it's easy to get that height on it
that's
too.
true. Yeah, yeah. Mertz Jonathan asked, can it DNA on that soft hog? It could, I'm sure someone could DNA with it. It's gonna be hard as hell because it has a huge
Huge
flat.
flat. I've
Yeah,
attempted a DNA on it, like just like the first couple throws, like curiosity. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get asked this probably.
yeah,
I think it works better when you kind of rely on the outer ring
yeah,
to control the
exactly.
yo-yo. So you don't get like a perfectly flat one, but you can get like, the bind and the helix effect and stuff.
Right. Can
It's
do
hard
it.
mode though, for sure.
Definitely. AJ, is slap a skinny jean compatible? Absolutely. It's probably like the ideal skinny jean yo-yo. I don't
Yeah, I
wear
think
skinny
36
jeans,
is a
but
good width for it. And because it's such a big diameter, it'll look really good when you fade in your raws.
yeah,
When you get your yo-yo fade.
exactly. Yeah, it'll look really good. Nice big diameter. Remy Baskin, how many gyro flop can it do?
Oh, that's
Probably
a
a
good
shitload.
question.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't done a gyro flop with mine yet. Fuck.
Actually, that's like a really interesting thing because I think this is probably is well suited to gyro flops because of the way the weight is arranged laterally. I was just talking about how like laterally it doesn't matter so much for spin power, but for
Right.
the purpose of a flop, when you get it rotating along that axis, the way the weight is this far out will make the yo-yo more prone to like precession and like turning on that axis. So it might be like godly for flops. Also, I think flops benefit a little from wall friction, so the tallness of the walls could help you like control it and get it going.
Right.
I have to see what Andre thinks, the flop master.
Exactly. Oh man, I just made a green and tarot half swap, and I think
Oh
that's the
yeah.
one. That's the one for me.
Oh, that actually does look pretty good. The light and dark.
Yeah.
I like wasn't sure how I'd feel about like half light, half dark, but like there's actually a lot of great half light, half dark swaps throughout time.
Yeah.
Lin
Yeah, there
Fury
are.
comes to mind immediately because they're all
Oh
half
yeah.
black.
Um AJ again, can we knock off the inevitable next? This is not
Yes.
a knockoff. It's inspired. It's heavily inspired by the Gopa. It couldn't be more different. Another huge difference is we use 7068 aluminum instead of the 6061 of the Gopa. And that's my new thing is like I don't think I'll ever make a 6061 yo-yo again. I'm not sure that I will. I just love how the harder aluminums feel. And I love how they take anodization. Um, they just look nicer, in my opinion.
This yo-yo in particular would have been a lot harder to pull off
Yeah,
with 6061 because that's what I started catting with
right. And it was a
the first
totally
sketches.
different design. And it was hard to get the weight correct. Uh, this is made for yeah, this yo-yo is made for 7068, and it's beautiful. But it would be sick to make. The inevitable is an undeniably nearly perfect yo-yo, and but there's a lot of inevitable knockoffs already out there, I'm sure.
Honestly, I don't think the market has really responded to it just yet. I
Oh
think it's
yeah,
still like sort of a singular yo-yo. Just like that profile is so uncommon in the performance
the
space.
profile is weird as hell. The closest thing to it, actually, in my collection, is the unnamed ART yo-yo, the bimetal they made.
Yeah, yeah, I've thrown that
It's
one.
like here, let me grab it. It's crazy how close they are.
It reminds me the most of like a 401k type profile where it's sort of organic inside then has like a flat angle outer rim, but also it's like not an easy comparison because the 401k's walls are so tall and it makes the rest of the profile chubbier for it. It's not as flared.
Right. Here, if you can you close your thing.
Oh yeah.
Actually, now that I look at it, they're pretty different, but similar.
Yeah, definitely reminiscent.
This is more like straight organic. This has a little more of a V shape to it, but they play honestly kind of similar. I love that art yo-yo. But speaking of the market, I'm wondering we I forget the examples, but we noticed there I think lightweight yo-yos are gonna be a little bit of a wave maybe at some point. Like under 63 grams type stuff. Just because I don't know. We'll see what people think of this one, but
Yeah, we
I
thrown our
I
hat in
like
the
it.
ring.
Right. I like it a lot. I know it's going both directions with Takeshi Matsura releasing an 80-gram yo-yo.
Right.
Um,
Though
I
the
I
turning
think
point heavy yo-yos are so interesting to me.
I think that makes sense for 3A especially. I know I was talking to Aaliyah Tan, and she said that she has a pair of the Hades, the 80-gram yo-yo, and she's like, it's like a cheat. It's like cheating for 3A because they just spin forever.
Yeah, and the
Um,
Hades is also like massive. Like I want to say
yeah,
60 millimeters.
there you go. So that diameter cheat code
And the
again.
diameter power again, combining
Yeah,
that with the high weight. And I know it's pretty common for 3A players to favor just heavier yo-yos in general. I think
right,
it makes it easier for them to control because things like your offhand movement doesn't influence the yo-yo you don't want it to. That's my theory. Is that like, your small movement, it's only like your very intentional movements that the yo-yo really picks up on and responds to.
right.
Never
But
played 3A in my life, but that's my read.
for single A, I think a lightweight yo-yo has some benefits for me anyway, especially for casual play. Just
Yeah,
redirections and stuff are a lot more fun. And you do, I was saying before, you have to pay a little more attention, especially with the Slappa or any lightweight yo-yo. when you're playing, it forces you to smooth out a little bit, almost like playing with a responsive yo-yo,
It's very
because
easy to overshoot.
yeah, every little micro movement you make will affect the yo-yo because it's so lightweight. So you have to really like smooth out all your transitions and everything so that the yo-yo doesn't move accidentally when you don't want it to. And I think that's an interesting aspect of the lightweight.
Yeah, I think this is a good trainer yo-yo.
Yeah,
Like, any
exactly.
slimline, of course, for that reason,
Yeah,
but also just like the sensitivity of it. Like
exactly.
you really break down your motions and have to be just so intentional. And I like it when a yo-yo does that. Like, makes forces you to actually actively make a decision about how
Right.
you're executing rather than autopiloting. It's interesting that this is like a casual yo-yo, but also almost kind of anti-autopilot.
Exactly.
I think it's
Yeah.
I think that's kind of uncommon.
You have to think about it while you're playing with it. It forces you to be present, and that is kind of fun in its own way. And um it's just a nice change from like a Japanese style, like when I play with my Hinamosu, and I just don't have to think to the point where it's like ridiculous because it just spins forever and you can't fuck it up. It's kind of nice to be like forced to be present, and it's just fun. It's a it's a good fun, and it's different from anything in your collection. Like the Slappa is not necessarily one. I was saying it's not necessarily, although it is a very good everyday carry yo-yo just because of its lightweight and its casualness. It's not necessarily something you're going to be in the mood to play with every single day because it is really unique. But when you are in the mood for it, there's not much else out there that can like scratch the itch. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
It's
It's like
very
it's singular for
stands
sure.
alone. Yeah. So I just think it's awesome that in a insanely flooded market we managed to make something different. I think that's very special.
Yeah, I think it doesn't look like anything, and it definitely doesn't play like anything else.
Right.
Like, you can pick out the samples, but it's not like
Absolutely.
even though it was like very intentionally like centered around one yo-yo at first, it's
It
like
couldn't play any more different than a Gopa. Like I'm no exaggeration. I expected it to play like pretty close, and honestly it's just so different. The Gopa has its own design elements that are really special. Um this fatter outer rim. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but something about this shape, this weird angular profile, and this fatter outer rim, it plays very different. Um,
yeah,
they
actually,
complement each other well, though.
can I like do like a quick CAD mockup thing? I actually want to talk about
Yeah,
how the
absolutely.
Gopa's weight distribution is. So I'm just gonna kind of
Yeah,
make like a bootleg one very fast because I think it's interesting to contrast it with how the Slappa was made.
right.
Um, because I think there's sort of different schools of thought about how you can build a slimline profile and how that will influence the weight distribution. Um, honestly, I think like the effect of profile on weight distribution is kind of under discussed to a degree. Like it's definitely understood. It's like, oh, an H shape will have rim weight and stuff like that. But like the advantages of a broad organic rim
Right.
are really interesting to me because it's not strictly like, oh, round rim, less performance. Okay, so this is the Slappa. See the rim's very broad horizontally, and that
Right.
means so like all this weight is very vertical. Like if the rim's low, if the rim is shorter, oh, all right, let me fix these so I can click and drag crap around. Okay, so like if this was like a sharper, wider inner profile, you'd get better friction mitigation, of course, but you'd also, oh my god,
Mhm.
I should have done this from scratch, but I'm committed now. So like something with like the profile that like more open inside and goes out, you see what
Right.
gets cut, but you see what gets cut away there. It's actually like vertical weight that gets cut away when you do that.
Right.
So like the Gopa, the very outer part gets thicker to place that
Yes.
weight. But when you make
Yes.
it thicker, it's actually you're adding to the bottom rather than the top, if that
Right.
makes sense. However, it does get the advantage of like the very 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 open profile. So it's interesting. It's like two different approaches. This is something that came up in the design of the sliver. because I was very, very in love with and inspired by the SF-36,
Right, right.
uh, godlike yo-yo, and it also sort of does the same. It has the same, more open, thinner rim, like thinner rim horizontally, but broad vertically type of thing going on. And
Yeah.
I was like, I think I could get more just like raw power out of doing a
Damn, that's a
broad
cool.
rim.
That looks cool as hell.
It was like accidentally a great, yeah, it's accidentally kind of a sick shape.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I think it's an interesting way to contrast the yo-yos.
Definitely. They complement each other well, but they're very different, the Gopa and the Slappa. Um, we got Drew Tates asks, who would win in a slap fight between the flying panda and a throw monkey?
Ooh, I
I
think the
gotta go
panda's
throw.
got it.
You got a panda? I got my money on throw monkey just because I love the throw monkey.
I would
I
root
want
for
him.
the throw monkey. I would root for
Yeah,
the throw monkey, but I think the panda takes it because throw monkey
pandas.
is my first bearing yo-yo.
Yeah, same. Yep. That's why I have a special place in my heart for throw monkey, but that's a tough one. Zapruder MKV says, "Will there be a Parappa the Rappa edition Slappa?" Which
Yo,
fucking rocks.
oh, that'd be so hard. That's
So
so
good.
cool. The
He
orange one's
also,
kind of the color of his hat,
yeah,
actually.
you're right. He also asks, "Are we gonna get the Nimbus before the second run of Slappas?" LOL.
I don't know, man. Slapper runs happen really quick. Nimbus
Yeah,
is
exactly.
Nimbus is a if you couldn't guess from the length of the development cycle, kind of a nightmare yo-yo
Yeah,
from a development
uh,
sense. It's amazing to play with, but it's also been
it's a
hard to
tough
make and
one.
hard to finalize because it's just it's so weird, and it's really pushing the limits of what you can do with its like specs and guts. It kind
Right.
of shouldn't work, but we're trying to sort of get away with it.
It's gonna be huge when that drops, man.
Uh that would be nice.
The
I
hype
have
is insane.
I have faith in the reception of the yo-yo. As long
Yeah,
like that's the other thing that makes the Nimbus kind of hard, is that I know I could drop it in like a decent state and people would love it, but it's also like because of the popularity, like the inherent popularity of like Adrian and the hype cycle, it makes me actually care even more about how it
right.
comes out, because it's like so many people are going to throw it, and I could just make a good enough one and it would work, but
No,
it kind
everyone appreciates that you're waiting till it's perfect, so people will
not
keep waiting.
not everyone, but
Well, they should be.
those who know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people just want the yo-yo, and I sympathize. I want the yo-yo to be out there too, but
Mm-hmm.
and I know I've psyched myself out to an extent with it.
Right.
Um,
At some point, you gotta just send it like we did with the Slappa, but
yeah,
just wait
and
till you're ready.
it's really close. I'd say like really like 98, 99% there.
That's awesome. I'm so excited. How does the Slappa compare to Spiral Sliver? They couldn't be more different,
I was
really.
worried about them not being different because
Yeah.
like if I had a nickel for every time I collaborated on a slimline, I would have two nickels, which is not a lot of money, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Like especially in a row, the way it ended up working out.
Right.
Um, so you know, and the sliver is a yo-yo that will probably get made again as well. So you know, I didn't want to do Mark dirty and just like make another
No,
sliver.
the sliver rules, but it's so different.
There are definitely
The
lessons learned from the sliver that you can see in the slappa,
yeah,
just like the rim thing I was talking about, and like how the inner profile is, and of course the flat hub. Um,
right.
but I'm really pleased with how they contrast. I mean, the slappa is 5 grams lighter, five whole
Yeah,
grams, which
just
is
holding them in my hand right now. It's the sliver is so solid feeling. Um, it's a super sick pocket yo-yo. Also, it's
yeah,
so
even slimmer, smaller diameter. You
yeah,
can
it's like a cube almost too. I like how it's like almost flat, like
yeah, the
the flat
blockiness
inner
of the
rim.
rim.
Yeah, the blockiness. Yeah, it's very
The
cool.
proto was blockier, but we
Ooh,
decided it wasn't comfy enough.
I like blocky, man. Blocky yo-yos are cool.
Yeah, for sure. I love like a random blocky yo-yo that comes to mind is Kuntosh.
Right. Yeah.
Great block.
The
The
and
plastic wedge,
the
plastic
new
edge is great.
the Kamaraiju, the new, have you seen the new one drop?
Oh yeah, yeah. I love
It's
Daiju. I love the way that yo-yo looks.
it's like
Uh,
a mini Countach. It's very sick.
that's awesome.
I
I
got
I
another.
really want to try one.
Yeah, I broke down and bought one. It's worth it. It's really good. I got another DNA with, do a soft hog DNA with the Slappa. Okay. I gotta figure out a way to do DNA on my soft hogs just because so many people ask for it.
Maybe a prop.
Yeah, like some kind of like a carrot in my pants or something. Um, how was this collaboration born? Why did you choose Slimline? Where are my car keys? I like cookies, says rookie B boy. Um, we explained pretty much how it was born. It was just randomly through Discord. And we chose Slimline because that was the flavor of the week for me at the time. I was like, I want a big diameter Slimline. So,
Yeah, I think you
um,
came into it pretty much. You had like a pretty clear vision of what you wanted when we
yeah.
started talking about it.
And then it sort of developed itself into being Kappa and um, Slim Dunk inspired. And to be clear, it's called the Slappa like a Slim Kappa, but this is not a Kappa yo-yo. Like I know that was important to you to, it's not like Kappa and now the new Kappa is a Slim Kappa or anything like that. It just
Right.
it just
It's
made
like
sense for the name basically.
it's got the DNA and and it's
And it
like pretty
has,
easy to see.
exactly. Yeah. It has elements, but like don't look, don't consider it like, if you're like a huge Kappa fan, don't expect it to be like, well, this is the new Kappa. Like that, it's not the new Kappa. It's not anything like that. It's
Yeah,
just
the new cap is something else. New cap is something
got
else.
new Kappa. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't wait. So there's more Kappas to come, more Nimbus to come, all that stuff. This is just a fun collaboration. Um, let's see if there's anything. Alvin asks, is there anything from 2000s yo-yoing that you could bring back? I mean, Yo-Yo Jam.
Yo-yo jam. Yeah,
Yeah,
solid answer. Solid
yeah.
answer. Just
How
like
about button-down
also
shirts, team
yeah, the
button-downs?
flannels. Oh, dude, people doing
Yeah,
arm tricks, getting stuck. Like people, the flannels were in at the same time, and then John Ando made arm tricks like a million times cooler in 2008. So then
right.
everyone was fumbling their arm
Mm-hmm.
tricks on the flannel. That was a vibe. That was a vibe. If I had to pick a thing from the old school era to resurrect, it would be just the centralization that forums offer.
Yes, I agree with you that there too.
The
There was a good sense of community too that really
Yeah,
helped. The yo-yo online community now can be a real bummer when it's only like Facebook Marketplace
right. It's
and
so
like
fragmented.
Reddit. Like shout out, I love the Reddit and everything, but it's just not the same as the old forums. They had a much tighter knit, uh, like friendships and stuff were made. I feel like a lot easier.
There's a
But
permanence to the posts that got lost as well.
yeah, that's just like the internet and the world changing more than yo-yoing changing, though.
Yeah, yeah, niche forums
It's
as a whole died. Like it
yeah,
wasn't just yo-yo, but I think the effects were really negative on yo-yo.
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
there was sort of a democratization of content through Trick Circle and Instagram that I think was a really good thing. It wasn't all negative. There was definitely like some trade, but
Right.
I think like overall, if the forums had somehow managed to like, and they're not dead. Yo-yo experts still exist. They still have like a great user base and stuff, but it just wasn't like it was with like Yo-Yo Nation. Like if news happened, everyone knew. New video drops,
Mm-hmm.
everyone sees it. Everyone puts in their 2 cents.
Yeah,
Um,
it's incredibly hard to get the attention of the whole community now. I try to spread out like my announcements from Instagram to Yo-Yo Expert, Reddit, and Facebook, but like even with those three, there's still
Shelf
so
life,
many.
it's gone in a
Yeah,
day.
there's yo-yoers who have no idea that I've ever made a yo-yo. They don't know like anything about me, which is fine, but it's just like really hard to get your name out there to like everyone. Um,
That's a thing.
Nearly
That's a thing
impossible.
too. You mentioned people not knowing who you are. Um, Another thing about that era is that I think there was a lot more respect for what came before
Yeah,
because it was still there. It was still being discussed. Like big names were almost more of a thing. I don't want to say like
definitely.
yo-yo celebrities because it's not really real, but like
Right. But just
people get
the
reputations and legends built around them, and just like
yeah, there was a
um,
lot more of that. And I came up with like the golden era guys like Spencer Berry and Yuuki Spencer and Jason Lee and looking up to them. And I was lucky enough to sort of be in that like mid school era where I got a little bit of a name. And that's where like Tyler came out of Tyler Severance and like other guys like that
the
who
wild
were,
west of 5A,
yeah,
a whole
still known
division being
today.
figured out. What a time to be
It was
yo-yoing.
so cool, but it is important to respect where yo-yo tricks come from and stuff like that to me anyways. And that might be some guys are like, "Oh, that's a boomer, yo-yo boomer bullshit." But like it the history of yo-yoing is so interesting and like where tricks came from and why they were named what they were named and who named them and who came up with them and like who first recorded them on video, like literally on videotape, like stuff like that is it's fascinating to me. And I think it's for I've learned from doing this podcast, like it's fascinating to the new players too. They just don't have access to it. So like
Right.
they love hearing these stories and stuff, but like it's very hard to find that information anywhere. There's no like database.
The Library
Um,
of Alexandria got burned,
exactly.
and it's all
Yeah,
still
the
on YouTube, but it's very scattered for the most
you gotta
part.
dig for it. So that's why I'm hoping to do more of these reaction videos to like dig up old videos that people haven't seen
Yeah, I have
and
that
bring
massive
some.
playlist of just old crap I think is good. Like I don't put anything on it after 2010.
Oh, dude, you gotta send that over to me. I'd love to do some. We can do some reaction videos to it.
Oh yeah, I'm super
Yeah.
down.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Spacey Rat J says, "What was it like to collaborate? Any tips for little yo-yo groups to collab successfully?" Yeah, we went
Ooh,
into
that's
that. It was
good.
yeah, it was easy to collaborate for us, like I said, because we have
We
mutual
simplified the
respect.
logistics a lot.
Yeah,
I
and
think that's
we
the hard
also
part usually of like a indie brand collab is the
yeah,
logistics.
logistics and also like having a clear vision of what you want is really important. Like we pretty much decided the basics very quickly: slimline, large diameter, lightweight, and so it was just a matter of Jamie coming up with like the profile and all the doing all the legwork design wise. But um, if you could go into it like without any solid ideas, like should we do slimline or wide, or should we do
Hmm.
lightweight or heavyweight? You're just gonna how are you ever gonna decide? And the more
Choosing
cooks,
what to do
yeah,
is like huge stumbling block to it, because if you don't get it right, you'll just have something sort of uninspired, or you may have something that doesn't really represent both sides of the collab very well.
right,
That's how you get yo-yos that are collabs that people only ever refer to by like the one brand name. You know, they'll
right,
say, "Oh, it's the that brand yo-yo." Well, it's also the other brand, but you couldn't really tell.
right,
Um, I actually have like a number of collab proposals that I'm super stoked on, but we also just like haven't gotten to haven't figured out what the hell the yo-yo is going to be.
right.
What kind of archetype we're shooting for or whatever. And sometimes it's like you try the first one and just throw it out. But even that first step, just like finding something that you're both interested in making, because different brands have their own lineups, and you don't necessarily want to overlap, or if you do, you want to put a spin. So it's hard to line those things up sometimes with like two different libraries of designs.
Mm-hmm. We both have we're lucky enough to have pretty distinctive solo projects as well. Like the dunk is very has the engraving and its look that is like very standard for me, and then your stuff all has this rim which is and this big cup area that's like standard for like it was easy to represent each of our brands too. Whereas
Hmm.
a lot of yo-yo brands, I would say, don't necessarily have anything that's uniquely identifiable right away,
Right, right. Like
which is very
that's why I
hard.
felt okay
Yeah.
doing as many collaborations as I have and as many as I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you do a lot of collaborations as a brand, you kind of run the risk of, people not knowing what you're about, what's actually your flavor. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
but because I
Um,
have like just this automatic stamp I can throw onto anything, I feel like it kind of gives me freedom to do just whatever. Like it doesn't have to share attributes in common with another spiral yo-yo to like
right.
be identifiable. Um, because you can paint yourself into a corner trying to be like true to yourself to like
Mm-hmm.
too much.
Yeah, you gotta have an open mind with everything too, and be open to experimenting and changing things. But um, yeah, it just worked out for us. But I love collaborations; they're my favorite. I want to see more of them. So I
I
think
think I
there's
make better stuff when I'm not working alone generally. That's why
that
I've been
makes
so
sense.
stoked
Yeah.
to work on like signatures, collabs. It's just like
Right.
if I have like another person watching and like giving their ideas or feedback or whatever, just putting two brains on it really helps.
Absolutely. Yeah. With yo-yoing, the more brains, the better usually. Um,
Except for Yomegas.
except the Omega. Yeah. Oh God. Have you ever seen the Omega Crossfire?
Yes. Is
It's a
that
sick yo-yo. Here, hold on. Share screen.
Yes, this yo-yo. I've played with this yo. This yo-yo whips ass. I was so
Yeah.
impressed by this yo-yo when I played with it in 2013. Yeah, let's see. 56.7, 38.73, 63 grams. Yeah, cool specs. Cool specs. Light, large yo-yo. Hey, where have we heard that before? And
It
then
also
the caps are gangster.
it was squishy though. That's the thing, dude. It was squishy. It
Oh, it
had
had
an
that
inner
one.
hub that
Oh,
yeah,
that's a
this
different
one.
yo-yo.
Yeah. This I don't know what this new Crossfire is, but this is the
Totally different
original.
yo-yo. Yeah.
For anyone who hasn't checked out the Museum of Yo-Yo History, this fucking rocks. But
So this has the squishy guts.
yeah, it has the guts that are look at that
Okay.
profile. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Wow.
And then here you go. That black part was squishy. So
Okay, yeah, the rubber guts. I've played some other things of theirs that kind of did it like that.
great
It's
colorways
it's
though. The
so
green and
dumb, but it's cool.
yeah,
Yeah, that green blue is great. Ooh, the red black yellow is hot.
yeah.
Yeah, the
So
Omega
let's just
Crossfire I played is like a lot more normal than that. Still a weird yo-yo, but
dude, they
nothing
have
like that.
modern yo-yos on
Yo,
here.
Slim Dunk in the
No,
museum.
no. What? No. That's insane.
Yo, that's so cool. Who donated
Dude,
it?
it's so funny. I just caught my eye, the Markmont. I'm like, they have modern yo-yos in here. I'm pissed. Why isn't my shit in here? And then you pointed this out. Wow,
Yo,
it's got my shit everywhere, or the shit I wrote. Released August 2020, the specs. Dude, I'm
wow.
so honored. This is huge for me. Oh my
Without
God.
without without saying anything. That's crazy. You just stumbled on it. That is so
Yeah.
cool. I'm over here thinking like, man, I better send them some. That'd be,
I'm
just like
gonna send
for
him the
my
rest
ego.
of them. Owner Rick Brow. I don't even know who this is, but I guess
Shouts out.
wow. Yeah, this rocks. So then you can compare yo-yos. You hit this little box and you can compare yo-yos to other yo-yos. This whole website is an insanely good database for
Great resource.
yeah, go by
You know,
manufacturer here.
Yo-Yo Guy had that functionality. I think the site is still up, which is hilarious to me.
Jake Bullock there. Is that's the only one they have is the Slim Dunk, weirdly. But here, let's
Well,
check out Kaio's yo-yos.
yo, shouts out Kyle Weems, Houston homie.
Immortalis. I remember this. So this was basically a metal freehand.
Yep,
Um,
takes the caps and
it
everything.
takes the caps. Yeah, it took wheel caps, which is insane.
Ooh,
It's a metal wheel. That's right, not a metal freehand.
the
So
freehand
sick.
is a wheel.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy how good the wheel is. Like that shape that they
I
came up.
I'd love to know who designed the original wheel profile
I know, dude. Just
because
some. probably just some random dude like who barely yo-yoed. But it's insane how
But
much
it's
it
so
changed.
intelligent at the same time.
Yeah,
Like it's just, I mean, really actually changed the game.
absolutely. Classic.
Ooh, that's
Such a
the
good
marble.
profile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hitman profiles goaded. And something I've been thinking about, like I've tried to like replicate some of these YoYoJam profiles just to see like can I make a yo-yo with capture the spirit or whatever. Um, something that's lost from profile design now is that the shape really can't be that way unless the walls are tall. Like the way the rims go out and stuff
Right.
wouldn't be the same if you did like a modern low wall. That inner profile would feel so different just in the hand. And like
You're
the
right.
broad
Yeah.
the broadness of the upper part of the rim really only works because like the profile skips up before it skips out. If you're going like if you're going from in to out the whole length of the profile. And I think that's kind of what leads people to call things blocky or not blocky, is like where your middle finger rests because of that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I think the slappa kind of gets, it's not a blocky feeling in the hand, but it like that same sort of thing because your finger doesn't go into the middle leg at all.
Yeah.
It
It
just lays on top.
it does. It feels so good in the hand though. At
It's
least for
very
my hand.
pleasing.
I have small hands too, but it fits in my hand super well. Um and the width is perfect because it leaves just enough for your middle finger to be in the middle and your other two fingers to be on the very top edge, but not like, you're just mostly holding it with your middle finger. So it feels really cool. This yo-yo is crazy. This was a looping yo-yo
HG looper,
with
yeah.
HG material. So this material was plastic injected with metal, like
Right, with like
metal
metal
flat.
particles in it.
Yeah, metal like dust basically. And so this looper played fucking crazy because it was kind of heavy. It's 51 grams. But O-ring looper, another like very game changer thing that Yo-Yo Jam did was the O-ring, but also for looping yo-yos because before that it was all starburst. And I guess to this day it is starburst is the standard.
Yeah, I think they kind of ended up
But I do
deciding
love a
Starburst was
yo-yo.
better because
Yeah,
loopers are already so maintenance heavy.
yeah, they are. I
I
do
know, I
love a
know. Higby has to like he he stood by Sunset Trajectories and he had to like over
exactly.
silicone it to make it
Yeah, you do
play
have to
loopery,
silicon.
but like over
That's
silicone, like sticking out, which sounds like a nightmare.
as a casual looper though, I do love O-ring loopers, but I understand for competitive you need the starburst. But this is another HG yo-yo. This is a classic, dude. The Spin
Spin
Factor
factor. Oh, I
HG.
had this. I had this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so good. Such a
really,
great
really
shape.
good.
Really good 5A yo-yo. Really good 1A yo-yo. The HG stuff was great. Let's see if they have a Matador in here. The Matador was the other HG yo-yo. But
There's a
oh my
chaos
god,
there.
Fat Boy, dude. This look at this profile. Oof.
Oh,
Brass
that's
rings.
that's epic.
It's so sick. It's like a super fat freehand. It's
It's interesting that it
so
has pads. What is that? What is
yeah,
that from?
that's
Oh, I
that's
think
a
this is
mod.
modded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Starburst normally. So they probably wore the Starburst out and put pads
Mm.
in. But this is a Starburst yo-yo.
Oh, there the bio says they shave. They actually shave the starburst. Wow.
Weird. But look at this fucking cap. It's like a baby or
Oh
something.
my god,
Like
this
a
this
fat.
art.
Yeah, it's insane. Sir Rick
Oh,
Wyatt. It's
so
kind of like
Rick.
racist almost, it looks like, but I don't know. Um,
I'd like
Here
to
we
hope
go.
that he picked out the
Yeah,
name.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
heavier spin factor HG. Yeah, this one's
Yeah,
hype.
so they put, I'm pretty
The
sure
brown is so
copper.
cool.
Yeah, the brown rims. It's got that half star. Oh, this is a full starburst one. That's really weird. These were normally half O-ring, half starburst.
Yeah, someone half swapped to make a good one, and then they gave the museum the starburst one.
Yeah. Here's the original Fat Boy with the starbursts. My friend had one of these and I was so jealous of it. It is
How
such a
heavy is
sick.
it?
Um that one
Yeah.
doesn't say the weight. This doesn't say the weight either. Damn.
It's a mystery. It's just fat.
Look at the packaging. It's just a bag.
Wow.
That's the old Yo-Yo Jam packaging. I would love to read what this says, but damn.
Oh, it's Casey Jewel modded, so that's awesome.
Yeah, Casey Jewell is a legend. Here's one of Doc Pop's early signature yo-yos. Super sellout. This is an speaking of slimline, check that out. That's a fucking
Yeah.
slappa. God
Wowie.
damn. Super sick. Oh god, I could look at YoYoJams for hours, dude.
Yeah, it's just the best, and
They're
there's never going to
so
be anything
cool.
like it again.
Nope.
The circumstances that made it exist and made it what it was, it just like
It's
can't
once in a
exist again.
lifetime. Yeah.
Oh, Sigma Blade, such a another
Yeah.
just super cool yo-yo. One of my
This was a
grails is Spin Gear did an edition with like anime caps, and it's like blue and pink glitter, like
damn.
half blue, half pink,
That
translucent
sounds
glitter.
insane.
It's so beautiful.
So crazy. What do we got? What do we got?
Yo-Yo Jam really like basically modernized yo-yo guts.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
I
Like
mean,
our
they were the
guts
first
are
to do a C
still
bearing.
first to do a C bearing. The O-ring groove, like our modern response is basically the same thing.
Here it is,
Just
Matador.
oh yeah.
Super sick shape. This
Oh,
was the
so
other
cool.
HG yo-yo. This was weirdly Jen Baybrook's 1A yo-yo. She was a 2A player. But and these were cool too because they were clear yo-yos, but the white cap, the paper cap rather, had red on the back of it.
That's so sick. I
So
didn't
it made
double
it like,
printed.
yeah, like showed through the plastic
I didn't
and
know it
made it,
was a clear body even because I've only
yeah.
ever seen this in pictures.
So they
That's
came in red
so
and blue
cool.
and green, but they were like kind of a translucent. It was a very cool effect.
And you could change it at will. I've
Yep.
never thought about
Yeah.
that backside. Well, I guess there's not a lot of clear body yo-yo jams, so that's it's really cool they thought of that.
Shout out Nathan Chrissy.
Hi Nate.
Look at the rims on this thing.
Monstrous.
It's
So
all
cool.
rim. This was the
It
coolest yo-yo when it came out, dude. So cool.
it's almost like why is there plastic?
Exactly. This is like sort of right before Yo-Yo Jam made their first full metal yo-yo.
What does it
Um,
say underneath Yo-Yo Jam on the cap there? Signature
Signature
series. Oh,
series.
okay. For
Yeah.
a second, I thought it said Sigma something, and I was like, "What
No.
is it?" Got Sigma on the brain.
Classic night moves.
Ooh,
God, it's
great
beautiful.
plastic.
Yep. That's like a crazy Enyo. Pink Enyo. You just don't see
Oh,
it
factory
anymore.
painted. They said. I think that's clear Enyo painted on the inside.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
But I know color Enyo is like a thing because Duncan, the Takeshi freehands are like this cool dark purple Enyo.
This was a crazy early off string yo-yo with metal rings.
Oh, it has
Just
metal. I never knew that about the special
yeah, it has
agent.
metal ring. But
Holy crap.
these rubber rims would fall off really easily, sadly. But crazy cap artwork by Johnny Del Valle. It's like
Right.
anime. It's very sick.
Very singular aesthetic. Like to me,
Yeah,
like that Yo-Yo Jam era in particular with the JD design and that Lynn Fury exemplifies it,
yeah,
and the hybrid Hitman, just like like this super sick, just over the top, almost Linkin Park Y2K type
yep,
of shit.
yeah. Very Linkin Parky. That's a good
Very
point.
very Matrix. Yo-Yo Jam was all about the Matrix. They made a yo-yo called the Matrix.
Yeah, yeah. You're
There's the
right. I
black
never.
freestyle.
Here's Black Signature yo, which is also very slappa-y. Klasaya.
So
One of the
sweet.
coolest caps ever, dude. That cap is insane.
Yeah, caps like this are what led me to put flat hubs on so many things because
Yeah,
I just think like in the era of like metals and laser engravings, I think graphics are kind of un- kind of underutilized. I guess is what you'd
right.
say. like there's some people who go super hard on it. I'm always in favor of like the super wild, just go all out engravings, like the Adrian Kappa, like the PK Sliver. You know, just
Yeah,
put it all out there. You know, get that space on the yo-yo for it. Make something that really stands out, is really in your face, elaborate in a way that you can't really get with just the yo-yo design itself.
that's great.
Um,
I wish I, for how artistic I am, I just can't ever come up with any good ideas for engravings, unfortunately.
dude,
I
one of
don't.
your honestly, if you just like did one of your face sketches like you do on all the
Yeah,
boxes, just did that digitally, you know,
yeah.
like translated it digitally, that would be the sickest shit. That'd be so cool
I'll.
just to have
I
that on
gotta
the
do
face of
it.
a slappa.
Yeah.
Next run, we gotta have some faces or
Next run
whatever
we'll
you
do it.
come up with. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
because I think the stuff you do translates really well to a yo-yo hub because it's because it's just line art. I
yeah,
mean, not
yeah.
just line, but in terms of
No, I
engraving,
know what you're
that,
saying. Yeah,
yeah,
it would work. I gotta just do it. I'm just scared, but I'll do it. This yo-yo is crazy. I love how the profile is all
it's so
plastic.
wide.
It's all plastic, great shape, but then it has these built-in rings.
Oh, the inner ring.
Yeah,
Wow, I didn't. Wow,
this is an
there's not a lot
old
of yo-yo jams like that.
no,
That's
and
really interesting.
this is an off-string player, Cody Taylor. He's the signature
Right,
guy of
the
the
free
special
agent.
agent, free agent and special agent, but
Right,
he had this weird one AOO called the Shockwave, and it had a car on it for some reason.
it's
So
kind of
sick though.
futuristic
I love it, dude.
for
I
'03.
would,
That's like same time as the
yeah.
Hitman. It's probably the Hitman mold with just like the ring different.
It probably is, yeah. I learned that recently that there was only a couple molds at Yo-Yo Jam, and they just changed the rings.
Mm-hmm.
So
It actually looks. Oh, I guess it's a lot of yo-yos probably.
dude,
And I think
very
they like
sick.
machine some off and then put the rim on, so it's almost like the Jeff Pang setup.
If anyone has a Shockwave, let me know. I will buy it. That's like a grail of mine. This is a great early John Narum yo-yo too. This
Oh, this
profile,
hamburger ass
the
yo-yo.
hamburger.
Yeah, cousin had one of these. It's like,
Dude, they're
man.
wild. But it doesn't have a picture, but it was the first yo-yo to have a finger spin hub. The nipple was
Oh, that's right.
indented
Yeah.
underneath these caps. I can't believe they don't have a picture. That sucks, but I swear, yeah, it's
No,
insane.
I
But
remember it. Yeah.
this one
Like
was
instead of the
numbered.
usual hub,
Yeah,
I think it's just like they extended the hub and made like the nipple kind of concave. I don't think it was like
yeah.
like
No, it wasn't full on
okay,
hub. It was just
I found a picture. I can
oh, nice.
send you this link address. Do we have a
There should be a chat somewhere.
let's see here. Standard. Zoom is so new to me. There's the chat. Okay. Oh, that's not a good. See if that hyperlink works. That might be a horrible hyperlink.
Let's see. Where is the chat?
It's along the bottom.
Oh, there it is. Huh. Didn't work for some reason. Oh wait. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Let's see. Do share screen. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
can see here this little nipple had the
Just a little concave on there, and then there's still the molding artifact.
yeah. This is crazy. This is like polished rings just on this random like
Oh, Worth Point is weird. Like
yeah,
they
they
have
have
like
weird shit.
they just like I don't know if it's just like one collector who's responsible for it being up here or where they like scrape their data from or whatever, but you find like really random just yo-yo museum type content. Like, you try to Google a random old yo-yo,
Yeah. I
you'll
think
see photos from Worth Point like all the
I think
time.
they draw from all the eBay auctions that have ever happened and things like that, and they just collect that
Oh,
data. I'm
okay.
pretty sure that's where it all comes from.
That makes
This
sense.
yo-yo was insane. This was a $1,250 yo-yo that Yo-Yo Jam released. There was only like 10 of them, Yeah, 10 production models. They were each numbered. It was titanium with 22 karat gold weight rings.
Why? But also
Look at
sick.
it. Look at that profile.
Oh man. So Yo-Yo Jam, practically a speeder. That's actually
And then
practically a freaking butterfly.
here's the case,
Titanium.
the case it came in.
Yo.
Look at it. It's like
Beautiful.
a jewelry box. I remember
Oh
seeing
my.
these at the booth in like 2005 or 4. Dude, look at this one. The gem that they put on it, it's like a flower.
Oh my god.
This one
Beautiful.
just had a gold ball, solid gold ball, but each nipple was like customized. That's a sapphire.
Wow.
This one was made exclusively for me, and sapphires were mounted on each side. Adjustable
Holy
gap with
crap.
O-ring response.
That means they had
Holy,
to make the hub different too. I wonder if
yeah,
there's like a wow, that's fascinating, Yo-Yo.
isn't it? It's so wild. I would love. I mean, there's 10 of them, so like, where the
Yeah.
fuck are they?
See, one
Like,
of them
they're
is Frank
floating.
Diffio's. I
This one's
saw.
owned by a guy named Jim Pankey, and this one's owned by Frank Diffio. Yeah, damn. It'll pop up on eBay one of these days. So sick. I forgot all about that. The Titan.
The ambition at Yo-Yo Jam.
Yeah, they do whatever they fuck they want.
Uniquely enabled by owning the means of production and just,
Mm-hmm. They
Dale
could do
having it
anything.
like that. Yeah.
Here it is, the one that changed it all.
You see, I
Look at
wasn't
that.
around for the drop of like the dark magic.
The
I
original.
know it
It was
became
huge.
super influential because, just because of Andre and Master Magic and stuff, but like and of course all of the contest appearances. I'm curious like what it was like when it came out and people were getting like first impressions of it because it
It
came out
was just
after some of the other composites.
it was like an oversized Hitman. And the
Right.
Hitman was the main player for a while, but like this became the competition yo-yo. Yuuki Spencer used this on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Shane Karen used it to win 4A and 5A. So
So
he was
wild.
doing off string with the Dark Magic at Nationals, and he was also doing 5A. Just everyone for whatever reason gravitated towards it and used it for competition, and that's what made it so huge.
I bet it's the diameter because all
Yeah,
the other Yo-Yo Jam composites are like kind of small. Oh, it's still up. That's hype.
yeah,
That's
baby.
so hype. This is where I learned to yo-yo,
This is
man.
the darkmagic.com. This website is sick. Like, look at this.
Yo. Oh my
Isn't
gosh,
this
with the
sick?
cross section there. Oh,
Yeah.
that's gold.
So
That's
it had
gold.
two finger. You could grind
Yep.
down here and it would go slower. You could grind up here or it would go faster. Your inner ring grinds. Flat rims for snap starts. So sick. Such a good idea.
So yeah, an idea that still persists, like the Kamaraiju has flat
Yep.
rims for that reason. The Deviate,
Yeah.
which was pretty clearly ripping off the dark magic. I think it's fair to say with hindsight. Um,
I don't think any of these video links, yeah, they don't work. But you can see Paul Hahn used one, Augie Fash used one, Jason Lee used one, Yuuki Spencer used it. These are all guys using dark magics for competition.
yeah, and like Augie, Paul Hahn, and Yuuki Spencer, they're all on Team Yo-Yo Factory. But famously,
Yeah.
Yo-Yo Factory said we let them use what they want, and they
Yep.
did.
Until the 888 came out, um, like even the 401k wasn't good enough for competition. So they were like, you guys can use it was basically an open bag situation. You could use whatever you wanted. And they
And
all chose to use Yo-Yo Jam because Yo-Yo Jam was the best.
I think the difference maker in like the 888 actually being adopted and used was that it was that up to that point the metal yo-yo factories hadn't landed on yo-yo jam type guts yet. Like the C bearings were there,
Yep.
but the pads were kind of random and sometimes the
No, yeah.
axle was kind of random.
The
Then the
first
888 was finally like
C
silicone
bearing,
groove, C
silicone
bearing,
groove.
normal
Yeah.
last post, long axle, which is important for the time. Um,
It was
it's
the
just
first C
solid.
bearing yo-yo factory. I'm pretty sure it was the 888 because the
Um,
401k was A bearing.
the G5 came out
Oh,
first,
you're right. That was the C
and I
bearing.
think I think the grind machines were out. But I know Yo-Yo Factory stuck to A for quite a while. I'm actually curious what the first sea bearing one is, because I know there was an era where they weren't using like 19 millimeter ish dimensions. They had the broader pad. In fact, I think they're even Genesis and grind machines that had the broader pads. So it's an
Yeah,
interesting aspect of yo-yo design history because I think the pad dimensions influence so much, like your wall
right.
height and how big you want your gap to be because of the response level, and really interesting to track, and also how
Yeah,
it influences yo-yo design and yo-yo tricks. Kind of there's kind of a dialogue there. They go back and forth and influence each other.
right. Yeah, here you can see Yuuki Spencer with a pink Dark Magic and a Yo-Yo Factory contest team shirt on. So, a cool old photo.
Great freestyle.
Yeah, it is. That's his Nationals 2005. You can see all my shit. I've been watching Malto Mario. Mario Batali's canceled as fuck, but his old cooking
Oh
show
no.
is so good. Don't tell anyone I'm watching.
Safe with me.
It's a it's good Italian cooking.
Yuuki Spencer!
Classic.
Thunderbirds are go.
It's the
Thank you, Anthony
Thunderbirds.
Rojas, for the upload.
Yeah.
Oh, the Thunderbirds freestyle, yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
Pink Dark Magic.
The World's 05 video of this freestyle is so crispy. There's like a more recent upload.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Shout out Dr. Mario.
Yeah, Dr. Mario rocks. Who is that? Do you know?
I have no idea. I'm going to assume they're like probably some super old school Japanese player.
Yeah,
It's
you're
based on
probably
like
right.
how much Japanese stuff they upload, but it's impossible to say.
Look what I just got. Shout out Aaron Warren. He saved all the remember 365 yo-yo tricks.
Oh my god, you have those?
I have mine,
Oh,
and
okay, sweet.
he has
That's still.
everyone else's.
Oh my
But
gosh.
so yeah,
Those
I
are
can talk to
lost.
him.
That's very
Yeah,
important.
they're lost.
Yeah.
He has all of them. He has Spencer's and everyone, but I got all mine from him, and I'm gonna upload them myself.
Yeah. It'd be
But I'm
awesome
excited
to
about that.
talk to Steve about like getting those mirroring, like everything on YouTube at some point, just like some sort
Yeah,
of channel archive or whatever. Oh, this is an amazing video.
yeah. I was in this room
Jelly.
live. Yeah, it was sick. I was like right in the front row. I was watching Yuki.
Being there for alt freestyles is so special. Worlds 2013, man. So nice to be there.
Yeah,
It's like Jensen, Nate Sutter, Polly did one. Yeah.
goddamn.
Also, this latter day Yuki is so cool because it's like a whole different thing from like Yuki he's been yoing for so long and is just so creative and talented that he has like eras. You can't. I
Yeah,
feel like you
he
can't say
does.
that about a lot of yo-yoers, but
No,
like he really switched it. Like this super long string, the density.
yeah. He would say himself, this is his Zach Gormley inspired era.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I know he has a ton of respect for Zach,
when I hung out with, when I
and I think they're
got
just tight.
to, yeah, when I got to Worlds 2016, I walked up to Yuki and he was hanging out yo-yoing with Zach Gormley. He's like, "Yo, Jake, this is my friend Zach," and I was like, "That was the first time I met Zach Gormley too." It wasn't the first time I met Yuki, but it was just weird to stand there and watch Yuki and Zach Gormley yo-yo at the same time in
Yeah,
person.
like
It's like it's
I only have so
unbelievable.
many eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. This shit is crazy. Yeah, one of these days, Trevor and I are going to do an episode where we go through from 2002 to 2007 or
Oh,
8.
like Yuki binge.
Yeah, every Yuki freestyle.
Oh my gosh, could I
Because,
be there?
yeah, of course. We'll
Oh,
get
dude,
you in there too.
I stand so
Yeah.
hard.
Every, it's so distinctive each year. His 2002 where he wins and he's a little kid. And then 2003, he's still a little kid, but he's a little older.
Yeah,
And then
I love
2000,
the 02, 03. Like it's like
yeah.
noticeable. It's
And then 04, he's like a grown up, but he's probably 17, but he changes, he gets taller, and like he has the Mars Volta freestyle, like super intense.
So good.
It's just so different from like previous years. And then you go through the Thunderbirds or Go phase, you go through the speed fit, like everything. It's just so sick
exactly
to see.
like that's something else. Like he like became a speed player and then also stopped being a speed player. That's just like so crazy.
The most fascinating turn for me is 2005 when he gets second place to Mickey with the Thunderbirds or Go freestyle. He kind of gets robbed, right? And then 2006, he comes back and he's like emo in 2006. He's like sad.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, fuck yo-yoing. And I remember him in 2006. He was like, fuck yo-yoing, fuck this. But he still does a freestyle. And it's such an interesting freestyle. He has some of his best tricks, but he gets like 6th place. Like Brian Koski beat him that year. But then he comes back.
This freestyle, there's a popular rumor online that Yuuki went on stage like fucked up, like intoxicated in some way.
Yeah.
I don't buy. I like
I
never
don't
really
think he
bought
was,
it, but I think
people
that
said he
came
was
about
drunk.
because of his stage demeanor here.
Yeah,
like you were noting, like just like kind of giving less of a fuck.
Yeah,
so experimental.
I remember he like gave away his yo-yos after and was like, he was over it, dude. But then he comes back 2007 and wins the whole thing. It's
doesn't
such
just
an
win
interesting...
breaks Mickey's streak playing his game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the biggest dick move in history, and the margin is like barely over a point or a little less than a point, which is just wild. Like, it could have been like a 1-click difference or like one eval going different.
And Mickey does Yuuki slack horizontally in his 2007 Worlds freestyle. So he's like literally taking a shot at Yuuki, saying, I'm doing your signature trick sideways.
And Yuuki did it too.
Yeah. They both
I wonder who went first.
I don't remember. Definitely Yuuki, because I think world champion always went last.
That's true. The seed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the trick borrowing aspect ties into the storyline around that year's Bay Area Classic.
Yep.
Yuuki asked that the freestyle video not be uploaded until after Worlds.
Right. But I think someone uploaded it, David Ung or like Sterling Quinn or someone. I know it was out there because I remember watching it and being blown away.
I know it went up. It went up after. Like, I know it went up because it's the video that's still up. Like in the description says like Yuuki approved or something. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
That's the one I saw. That was uploaded by, I think, Vashek's brother. There it is. Yeah.
This is the classic. He's wearing the funny hat.
Mm-hmm. The only good fedora in history. Romantic Rights.
Death from Above, 1976 or whatever the band is.
1979. Yep. Yeah, this put me on good. Death from Above. Oh, dude. Yep. And he used this. Yeah, great freestyle. And I think, and like the opening of this freestyle, I think is why he didn't want the video shared. That's my theory, because these tricks are so simple but so effective. I think he could have learned that in 2 minutes, right?
Right. God damn.
Yeah, this is like the Yuuki theme song. He's used this more than once. This is the first time though, I think.
Spencer Berry judging. I think Paul Escalar's up there too.
Oh wow. Very qualified.
Yeah.
Literally the authors of everything we know now.
Right. Here's another. This 2006 Nationals where he's also still, but he's got the bathing ape. This one's really good.
Arm tricks.
Yeah.
Before the
Renaissance, yeah. He's a little happier in this one.
That's just how Nats is, man. It's just a better vibe.
Yeah, it is. Yuuki Spencer, you fucking rock. Sincerely, Zerubbabel. Kai Zizin from 9 years ago.
Yo, I love the old comment sections. They're so
Yeah.
cool. Because sometimes you see one where it's like someone you know or have heard of was like being toxic. Like
Yeah.
it's some shit that doesn't matter, so it's funny now.
I have some cute ones on my old videos from Jeffrey Pang when he was like 12. And he's like really young. But yeah, we'll get into Yuuki on the full episode. We'll have you on.
It's so easy to just fall into the rabbit hole immediately.
Yeah. So good. So good.
It's also
All right.
really cool that you're still using like the same YouTube channel. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
like
I'm trying to bring
this
it
going
back.
on the same channel as like the freaking YWED video. Like that's
Yeah.
hype. That's so hype to me.
Yeah. I'm getting new subscribers. It's happening slowly but surely. Trying to get it going. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So everyone like and subscribe.
Hey CTA, love it.
We got to come up with a giveaway for a SLAPPA at some point. Maybe not tonight, but we can brainstorm. Maybe do a little contest or something.
I want to see tricks that incorporate slaps.
Okay, simple.
String slap, yo-yo slap, slap your
Yes.
mama.
Yes. You know? We'll announce it here then, and then I'll come up with a post or something. We'll figure it out. But slap tricks, tag me. Don't slap me in it. Tag me and tag Spiral in your slap tricks. Maybe we'll come up with a hat. Just hashtag SLAPPA should be good.
Let me see if
yeah.
that's a
see
heavily
how
used hashtag. Probably not, but you never know. There's some random stuff like Matt Mondays. I know, like I just kind of
Right.
like did it off the cuff, and then it wasn't like a very used thing, so it wasn't a problem. But there was like a different thing that was Matt Mondays. Oh God, there's what? What could SLAPPA be? There's 24,000 posts with the hashtag SLAPPA.
That's so weird. How about slap a yo-yo?
Yeah, SLAPPA yo-yo, SLAPPA you silly. No, that's too
Slap a
long.
yo-yo. Slap a yo-yo is good.
Yeah.
So hashtag slap a yo-yo, but just tag one of us so that we see it. And we'll run it for a couple weeks and see if we get anyone doing some slap tricks. That would be sick. I know Takeshi Matsura has some of the coolest slap tricks out there, where he's like slapping slack back and forth.
He can do everything.
It's insane.
He can do everything. Oh.
I'll set one aside. We'll give one away. That'll be fun. Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about the SLAPPA?
I'm just so happy with how it came out, because I'm throwing it for the first time just today that we're recording this. And so, you got to find peace last week when you got it.
Yeah.
And I finally get to throw it. Man, I'm just a little surprised, because like I think it kind of exceeded my expectations, which I'm pretty happy about.
It definitely exceeded mine. I mean, I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't realize quite how fun it would be. And I didn't necessarily expect that I'd be wanting to throw it every single day. But I'm loving it.
It's so easy to throw for a long time too.
Yeah.
Like it just melts the time because you don't get fatigued. It's just easy to move. Yeah. I was worried that like because of the diameter and weight distribution that it wouldn't get that like that float, that airiness.
Yeah.
That it might just like
it's floaty for sure. It's not a brick at all.
I've played some like very light yo-yos that like didn't come out with the light feeling all the same. The example that comes to mind is the Sturmpanzer Leo Sniper Mark II, which is a 61 gram bimetal with like pretty normal dimensions. But because like the aluminum part of the body is like super min max, they even use like a tap through axle instead of a traditional hub. So like there's just as little aluminum as they can possibly put on there. Like they even made the pads super thin so the pad groove doesn't have to be deep. So that wall can just be super thin, and the guts are made so it's thin. And then the rest to hit that 61 grams, everything else is just this honkin' brass ring, which is pretty compact because brass is heavier, a lot heavier than steel. But it was really interesting. This yo-yo that on paper should be just like a fairy is actually like really solid, very assertive on the string, hard impacts.
Right.
Really, really changed a lot of how I think about yo-yo design. Like throwing that, just I love to be wrong about a yo-yo. I love to be wrong
Absolutely.
about a yo-yo. Then I get to learn something. Like same with the SLAPPA. I wasn't super wrong about it, but I was like, yeah, maybe it won't be floaty, but it's just like ungodly floaty. And I'm
Yeah,
thinking
it
that
is.
might be from the lateral placement of the weight, the way that it's not like the way that it's like very far out relative to the
Yeah.
body of the yo-yo. I think that I'm starting to think that that is part of the floaty formula. I've
The float
slow
equation.
slowly trying to solve for floaty. I've done a lot of thinking and research over it, like asking people to just define floaty in their own words. Ask people, what yo-yo is float, what's the floatiest yo-yo you've played, stuff like that. Um, and sort of the benchmark of that is like the original Peak, and the Peak has
Right.
this going on too. Like it has a lot of center weight because of the way the hub is built, and just has like a long axle because of how that was in the era. But also, it actually does have this sort of undercut thing going where the weight is very outward rather than inward. Like the Kappa is an example of a yo-yo where the way the Kappa's rim is shaped, I can actually just cut a Kappa in half here. It's like sort of spread out horizontally and not pushed all the way out sideways. Where are we at? Here. Okay, here we are. Yeah, like here's a Kappa cut in half. And you see
Nice.
how it's not like all the way out. It's like,
Right. More dispersed.
yeah.
Interesting.
I think that may be a floaty variable.
Huh.
Still gathering data on it. This is actually the first yo-yo I've made that's sort of distributed like this with this big undercut,
Yeah.
which feels
Oh
great
yeah,
for talons. I'm pretty stoked on how
it
that came
does.
out.
Yeah, I was doing those. It's awesome for ring grinds and everything. The axle. So the axle is short enough that this can fit a slim bearing. Am I correct?
The axle post is short enough, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm realizing that because we ended up going with the 8 mil axle, you can't put in a shorter axle to make the slim
Oh
bearing
damn.
not punch it through. I think I like just like boo booed and didn't think it through all the
No, that's
way.
fine. So, but people can
If
put a
you get a
shorter
short
axle.
axle, then you can do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
haven't put one of the grease bearings in this yet.
I
I'll
know.
be very
I was just saying I'm gonna do that after we're done here. I'm gonna put a grease bearing in one
I
and
think it's
try
gonna be
that.
gnarly responsive.
Yeah. I think it'll be a fun responsive yo-yo.
This sort of undercut outward weight thing is actually one of the things I really really wanted to bring in from the slim dunk, because it's undercut in a similar way where like it's like the rim here and then the angle goes like up, and then it's
Yeah.
thin here and then the rest of the profile. So I was like, see if we can make it feel dunkish. Like I think the dunk rim is undercut like this as well. So like most of the dunk series yo-yos have it. I was like, let's see if this outer weight thing, see if there's anything to it, making it
Right.
feel that way. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Super sick.
That's the slappa. Please clap.
We love it. Blabba, slappa. I'm gonna go play with mine now.
This whole time I've been like, man, I just want to throw it.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking the time to talk to me about it, and I think people will appreciate it. I'm gonna get this edited tonight and posted tonight. It's only 8:30. Hell yeah. So we'll get this out there tonight so people can learn more about it. And it comes out Friday, 6 p.m. So
Eastern.
that's Eastern time, 6 p.m. EST, Friday night. Grab one. They're gonna go fast, I think. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm anticipating a
Yeah.
pretty quick one,
I
but
think they'll go
we'll
pretty
see.
quick. Yeah, who knows? You should be able to get your hands on one, but like I said, it's within the realm of possibility that we'll do another run of these. So don't stress too hard about it.
Yeah, we already
It's
thought of new colors. It's so easy to think about
exactly, yeah.
colors. Yeah.
Yeah, and potentially polished versions. I'm a sucker for polished yo-yo, so that could be really interesting with a slimline, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. The polished slivers look
Or
so good.
yeah, or polished inner cup blasted outside.
Oh, the masking. Yeah, that would be hot. That would be
Yeah.
really hot.
Damn, that would look sick. So yeah, I really hope they sell out quickly so we can do another run. But
You, dear viewer, have the power to make more slappas.
yeah. And SLAPPA YoYo, hashtag SLAPPA YoYo. I'll make a post about that, soon, as soon as possible. We'll do a giveaway for a SLAPPA for that as well. But yeah, if you don't have anything else to say, I'm gonna get to yo-yoing and editing here.
Yeah, I'll leave you to it. Follow at Throw Spiral Instagram.
Yes.
That's where we're at. Tag us,
Yep.
show us stuff. I look at everything.
Yep.
I don't post super often on the account because I want to make sure every post is something like quality to share. So yeah, it's worth your time. All the updates will be there. I'll duplicate all the information about the SLAPPA, of course, and what's next as well.
Hell yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a good one.